Hello, Country Changers. Laticia Gibson here. Hope you are well. So, as you are probably aware, May has been the month of the snowy valleys and profiling everything that that beautiful region has to offer. And on our webinar today, we have Mellisa Meli. Sorry, I think I've just said that wrong, Melissa. But she's the principal of Rate White up at Tumbarumba. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure you're really busy at the moment.
We're busy enough, but it's also great to have this opportunity, so thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. Look, real estate is the hot topic across the nation at the moment post-COVID, but you were saying earlier that you guys are in a great position because you actually have stock, so that's unusual and great.
It is at the moment, and I'm not sure how long it will last, but we do have a few properties coming on, and traditionally people I don't know, seem to think now's the time to sell, especially with our current market at the moment. So it's helpful for people wanting to buy, but also advantageous for the people selling. You know, they are selling at a much better price than they have, previously before.
So before we jump too much into the property market, I thought it would be good for people who aren't familiar with the Snowy Valleys, who haven't been there. You moved to the region yourself just under 10 years ago. Where did you move from, and why did you move, and why do you love it?
Okay, so I am Canberra born and bred, and left Canberra when I was about 24, moved to Adelong, and worked within the rural sector there with Elders as a merchandise wholesaler for their branch there. As life has it, relationships change and evolve, so I moved to Tumbarumba after meeting the love of my life. And that was, I met him 11 years ago, but sort of associated and moved more with Tumba 9 years ago. But it's been probably one of the best moves of my life. The community here is amazing. Besides having a great partner, definitely the community is a huge advantage to where you live.
Look, we hear that a lot from country changers, but I know it is particularly true in the Snowy Valleys region, Tumbarumba in particular, where you are. I've interviewed so many beautiful people and business owners up there. So it's a really vibrant community and a lot of change and new business, and it just seems to go from strength to strength, which is no doubt is being reflected in the market. So who are you finding are buying most of the properties at the moment?
So currently we really have, it's definitely split in thirds. We have some younger families moving to the area, we have some professionals. COVID, I mean, as people would be aware, Tumba during the bushfires, we proved what a resilient community we were through COVID. We've done the same thing. COVID also opened up plenty of opportunities with people working from home. You've spoken about it in previous webinars with other country towns, but we're definitely seeing a division of, we've got our retirees. We have then our sort of not so much retirees just yet, but wanting to, move to a country area and experience a lifestyle and enjoy a lifestyle where in city areas they couldn't. Then we have the younger families that have come to the area, couldn't afford ever to own a property in Sydney and Canberra. Again, now they're struggling. The opportunities here, and now with being able to work remotely, it's also created a whole new, opportunity for many people, and business opportunities. Skilled labour. We're screaming for it in every country town. So there's huge opportunities for people to live a life they've probably only ever dreamed of, or watched on telly, or heard friends do, but now they're actually doing it themselves.
And look, I think the location is great, along with other Riverina towns, but the Snowy Valleys in particular, you're only 2 hours from Canberra, 1 hour from Wagga, which has a regional airport as well. Canberra also obviously has a really big airport. And then you're halfway exactly between Sydney and Melbourne. So you do, if you just want to pop in the car, you can literally go to Sydney or Melbourne for the weekend. And when I used to live close by, and that's what I'd do. I'd go shopping in Melbourne for the weekend, or go to a show in Melbourne for the weekend, or the footy if I was dragged by the by the boy. But you do have that opportunity with those things on your doorstep, and it is a really lovely, and it's so picturesque. Snowy Valleys.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
it's a stunning area, stunning spot. But in regards to the sort of the retirees, a lot that have moved from Sydney, you know, had children in Melbourne. So it was a 10-hour drive and essentially a 20-hour drive over a whole weekend. Now they're actually seeing families from both ends. You know, they've had more family time in the last 4 years of living in Tumbarumba than they have in the last 15 years of the kids, you know, moving away and having their own families. So being the halfway, Canberra, we are about 2.5 to 3 hours. We're a little bit further than the likes of Tumut and Gundagai. But one of the nice things about Tumbarumba is you don't just stumble across us. You know, we don't have that transient sort of flow of people. You know, you actually have to come to Tumbarumba and purposely come there to look at it, to visit, to stay, to explore, whatever. But it's off the beaten track. It's you know, our crime rate is fairly low, and I can speak that honestly. We have great relationships with the local law enforcement here in town. And graffiti, you know, all of our public toilets there's nothing. You know, I think there's no graffiti. So it's a really nice country town once you drive in. The main street is stunning. I think Mike King will boasted about Gundagai's main street being the best ever. Come up to Tumbarumba and have a look at our main street. It's absolutely gorgeous and always busy.
I know the regional council's put a lot of money and investment into the streetscapes and the town centres over the past few years. So the beautification process is only, I guess, increased, and like I said, had a lot more investment over the years. So it's looking even prettier. So in terms of the types of housing people can expect up around Tumba, is it as diverse as other regions where you've got, you know, everything from apartments right through to large-scale farming available? What's happening in the market at the moment? Yeah,
we're not as diverse in regards to sort of, you know, the type of housing. You know, Tumbarumba is a timber town. Most of the lower-end properties are renovator opportunities. And then, you know, we have a small new subdivision that's happening in stage 3 is soon to be released by council. We're just waiting on dates for that to happen. But again, it's only going to be, you know, another 20 sort of residential blocks on offer. We have had some progressive meetings in regards to more subdivisions to allow growth and opening up those small acreage blocks. But look, we're anywhere from a relocated Snowy's home to a cute little fibro cottage through to some nice brick homes. Majority of
what
price points? Yeah, renovators, below the 200s, 160 to 210, and then from 210 to 330, I think our median house price at the moment is about 265. And, you know, in a 12-month period, Tumba's seen, I think it's over 25% in property growth. So, you know, traditionally we're at 4 to 8% growth, but this last 12 months has really been a great growth period for the town, considering everything that we're faced in regards to bushfires and COVID. The township itself is, our ecosystem within the township is healthier than it's ever been. The sporting clubs, you know, they have a Fast 5 netball comp that they've just started this year, and I went down to babysit the grandkids, and I was actually just grinning ear to ear to see the age group of everyone involved. The courts were full, all the teams were full. There was kids running left, right and centre, and for a country town to see and know you've got that many young people coming through, and they've all bought properties, you know, 80% of them have bought properties, so they're here to stay, and just love it. You know, it's a great youthful community, it's a great mature age community, it's a great retiree community. It just offers so much, you know, and we've had people buy properties that, you know, don't intend to move here for 5 or 10 years, but come down, fix a few things on the property, and they haven't left. You know, they're still here 4 years later. So, you know, it speaks for itself in regards to our people ecosystem. It's great.
I think that is great to hear as well, because it is a common misconception that the country is a place that you go to die. And when we speak and interview so many country changers, they, I guess, some of them had that misconception busted themselves, and they found that they were busier than when they were in the city, but a different type of busy, because they were getting involved in things that made their heart sing. So whether it be sporting, community and volunteer groups, creating a new business. So all these misconceptions were smashed for them. And the vibrancy of the young community coming through, people who did live in regional areas and have returned home close by, and or people like yourself have moved there later in life, right through to retirees, as you say. So I think that diversity is really, really important for a community to stay vibrant and stay healthy and see the kinds of innovation that Tumba and the Snowy Valleys is. So in terms of property, if people are looking to get into the market at the moment, what advice do you have, no matter where they are in the price point or what they're looking for?
Well, to start off with, I mean, I think know what you want, know what you want. I mean, we speak with people daily, many people. They're not sure of what they want. So come down, drive around the town, write down the streets that you like, that way, we can have conversations. We can identify, even if it's just a visual on the outside, what a property looks like. We can send you 80 pictures, but it's not until you actually get down there and have a feel for the town. Speak to the real estate agents, speak to the information centre in town. The ladies there are just amazing. And do your due diligence. I mean, we don't have a Myers, we don't have a Westfield, we don't, but it creates another whole opportunity. Living in the country is when you do have an opportunity to go to the city for the weekend, you have the most amazing time. But there's never been a time in for my 25 years of living in the country, have I ever not wanted or gone, I don't want to go home. I love driving home. I mean, I've had my eldest children move to the area. So as a grandma and a mum, I couldn't be happier. And we're seeing this with a lot of other families, their children are coming back. But if you're not familiar, do your due diligence, make the phone calls. We love speaking to you. I love talking, especially about our awesome town. But, do your due diligence, know what you want, and just look, definitely, buyer beware. A lot of the older houses have a lot of, quirks you mightn't see. So, just be careful with some of those.
Yeah, and I think coming in with the right expectations, if you don't have time to renovate, or you don't have that surplus cash, or perhaps experience doing, as you say, old timber or fibro renovations, then be prepared to hire those tradesmen that do it, and I guess be prepared for the time frame that it takes to do those things. But at the same time, it can be a wonderful experience renovating a property, and something that you can really enjoy. So I guess it's just what you're looking for.
Yeah, indeed. And, we have many people that are renovating at the moment, sort of living in one half and renovating the other half. But, at the price point here, these families own their homes. They're only responsible for their land rates and whatever else that they do, and they get to really enjoy life. It's different to living week to week, that they say out of the city. Each month there was so much put away and that was it. They sort of lived inside their houses. But, people get down here. We've got such amazing facilities for lifestyle to get out and really enjoy the outdoors, that, people are actually doing that. It's great. They're not just spending their whole time sitting inside their homes.
Absolutely. Apart from come and visit the location and figure out the home that you want, any other advice for people who might be considering a country change as well as buying a property?
The only advice that we normally say to a lot of people is write a list. Write a list down of what you love about where you are at the moment. Write a list down of what opportunities you would find in the country and be able to enjoy in the country. Work out your distances for travel. I truly believe your pro list for country living will be 3 times as long as your pro list for city living. I've experienced it with my own children, you know, and they love it here. You know, they haven't looked back. The people that we've sold our agency is only young in terms of other agencies in town. We're 4 years young in September, but we've sold over 115 properties in that time, and 70% of those are from out of town. So it's healthy, it's there. You know, we've only had a few resell within that time, but that was just due to their work and careers taking them on to other states. But, you know, they still always say Tumba would still be home if we didn't have to move for work. You write a list, come down, spend time. You can't do it in a day. You can't do it in a night. You know, we'd say come down for 2 or 3 nights and experience the whole region, from the wineries to the newly open rail trail, which has been fantastic, mountain bike tracks, the Human Hovel, Cancoban, Manus Lake. There's, you know, I could go on and on and on, but
yes,
yeah, come down.
If you're an outdoor enthusiast, there's so much to do in the Snowy Valleys, and it does attract a lot of people for that reason.
Yeah, and there's the other sides, for especially the retirees. I mean, even they all welcome. We've still got a very active CWA group, the Men's Shed, which has been a fantastic initiative to keep the hubbies, you know, sort of happy. But you know, there's crochet and sewing groups. There's a lot. There's Artists on Parade, which is absolutely, I think Marianne Marshall was one of focused on one of your programs here as well, and it's just wonderful. You know, if you're an aspiring artist, one, our scenery here is amazing. Two, the peace and quiet that you would get to hone in on that artistic skill that you have, but also to showcase it locally and create events locally is there.
Lots of inspiration. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us that insight, and we'll put your contact details up on the post as well, so if people want to get in contact with any questions or to see any properties, they can do so. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.